Welcome everybody back to Katawa Shoujo. We get to find out about her leg. That's the big cliffhanger.
I forgot that that's where we left off.
Yeah. Can't you see where it says your leg? How's it feel?
I can. But when I was like getting up today, I was just like, today's Katawa Shoujo. Where did we leave off?
Yeah. Um, it's all very mysterious what happened to her leg.
I know what happened to her leg.
Yeah. You do.
Unfortunately,
You do, but I have no clue.
because I think I've like I said before, Emmy is not a path that I went down before.
Hmm.
Um, but I've definitely seen someone, or at least parts of it, her route, because she is a well liked character.
Oh yeah, she's very positive and um, got a lot of spunk,
I have a
as they
feeling the
say.
only real two characters that like more people dislike than like. I know that some people still like them are like Misha and Shizune.
Yeah.
I
As
don't
far as
know.
As
Sorry,
far
go
as
ahead.
I was just gonna say, as far as romantic interest.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people going like, oh, they were such awesome characters. I really love these two.
All right, we're on the rooftop. We're gonna find out how our leg's feeling. That earns me a frown and a bit of a glare.
It's okay, I think.
Oh, her eyebrow raised.
Not worth worrying about.
Tell that to the nurse. He's quite insistent that you visit him. Emmy pouts like I just told her she's been grounded.
He worries too much. It's not a big deal. Just a little soreness. Yeah, but if you don't give it a rest, you're gonna end up making it more sore.
You said that Emmy's well liked.
Emmy is well liked.
What about Rin?
Um, she's okay. So like, I haven't seen a whole lot of support for Rin, but I've seen a lot of people meme Rin.
Yeah,
Like, her weird questions, it makes her like meme worthy, I guess.
yeah, sure. She's very quotable, right?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people quote her, and then they'll like put her on like a lot of like that like conspiracy meme where it's the dude with the weird hair and the almost closed eyes, and he's just like, coincidence? I think not.
The dude with the weird hair.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a weird. At least I think he's got a weird haircut.
I know the one of Fry from Futurama, where his eyes are slanty.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that, but I've seen her get placed on images like that for like weird conspiracy theory memes.
Did you say this line?
I did.
I tried to resist rolling my eyes in exasperation. If it's nothing, then you should have no problem seeing him, right? Emmy narrows her eyes suspiciously.
Did he put you up to this?
Well, maybe a little. But that's not the point. I would have reminded you to see him anyway. It would be terrible to see you really hurt and not doing anything about it. That would make it worse, and I don't really want to see you hurt, you know? Call me crazy, but I kinda would prefer to see you happy and healthy. With each statement, Emmy's frown fades a little more until eventually she's grinning, albeit a little shyly.
Well, if you're going to put it that way, then I guess I'll have to see him. Otherwise, you'll keep worrying, and then I'll never hear the end of it, right?
That's right, I'll keep bugging you about it, and that might put a damper on our dates. How's the food, Hisao? Talk to the nurse, Emmy. How was your day, Hisao? Talk to the nurse, Emmy. Hisao, I think I'm ready to go all the way to... Talk to the nurse, Emmy. See, it doesn't work that well. Amy giggles at my high-pitched rendition of her own voice and gives me a affectionate shove.
My voice isn't that high, jerk. Especially not that high when I'm doing it. I thought it was pretty accurate.
Yeah, I do a really high-pitched voice.
Oh, God.
What, her face?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what she's conveying by her eyes being like that.
I don't know either, but it's terrifying.
It looks kind of like a Don't Starve eyes.
Yeah, kinda.
Amy and I stare at Rin for a while before I burst into laughter. Amy crosses her arms and huffs, mock offended.
You're both jerks.
Such vile calumnies from you, young woman. I'm stunned that you would call me, of all people, a jerk. Honestly, I don't know what to think. Amy sticks her tongue out at me.
You ass. Also, calumny. The making of false and defamatory statements about someone in order to damage their reputation. Also known as slander.
Slander would have been better worth.
Slander would have been easier. I think we've had this conversation before where people who write stuff like this, they're just like, I'm going to use this other word because it sounds fancy.
Yeah, writers. So pretentious.
Hi.
What's that?
I write a lot.
Oh. Yeah. You don't write books, though, or dialogue, do you?
No. Well, I started a while back, but I've never been able to actually finish anything. I always get into the story and then just like, okay, all right, this is a lot of work. So, Bryn, how's the art club these days?
Rin, seemingly as surprised by this sudden change of topic as I am, takes a minute to think before answering.
I believe it is okay. Although Nomaya keeps telling me to work harder. But I don't think he understands my methods. He always struck me as slightly creepy.
Rin ponders this statement for a while.
I've never really noticed. But I don't pay much attention to him most days, so maybe that's why.
Do you meet?
Thinking of joining Cassell?
What? Nah, I've already decided to join a club. Maybe you should write a visual novel, Joe.
I thought about it a few times, actually. I've considered it. I started one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually even had art done of it. I had character designs and everything like that, and I actually was working with an artist, and then she stops drawing altogether, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Like, in the middle of it, she was just like, yeah, well, I gotta focus on school, so I'm just gonna quit my art. I'm just like, what?
You made her stop, Joe.
I know. I got really sad. I was just like, is it my fault?
Story was so bad I had to quit writing or drawing.
Apparently. If I can find the art, I might send it to you later. Because she did a really good job, actually. I'm really sad that she quit art.
Hey, maybe you could put up what you have of it.
Yeah, I might just find another artist and continue though too. Who knows? Really? Which one?
Can make it available like Katawa Shoujo.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really much of a club, to be honest. And it'll be a cult hit, Joe.
Yeah, cult classic. Oh, you joined the Tea Club?
No, I joined the science club, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Did he join it?
He got offered by the teacher.
Just talked about it, though.
Yeah.
Amy looks highly confused. That is a very good confused look. It looks like Biggs.
Biggs.
My cat
Yeah,
looks confused like all the time.
he does kind of look confused all the time.
He's
And
not
when
he's he's not the brightest.
no, most cats kind of aren't. I've noticed that like every cat I've had has been just a little bit derpy. We have a science club?
Not really. It's just me. I am the science club.
Sal, that's not much of a club. That's sitting in your own room reading books.
No, I mean it's just me and Mutao. I'm just the only student so far.
Mutao? Really?
The thought strikes her.
Oh, is that what you were talking about yesterday? Your meeting with Mutao?
Yeah, that was our first meeting, I guess. Emmy giggles.
Nerd.
That's a compliment. Hey, I can't help being clever.
You know, I could have used your help years ago. You should have had your heart attack earlier in life, Sal.
Yeah, God. What was I thinking? I laugh and then realize this is probably one of the very rare times I've laughed about my heart attack. Hindsight.
Yeah.
The ringing of the bell ends our conversation. Guess we better go.
Yeah, I guess so. Rin's asleep.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
Come on, Rin, you too.
Rin has barely begun to doze off, so Emmy gives her a sharp bump.
I almost had it.
As it's about, like, being unconscious during her sleeping or whatever. She doesn't remember her sleeping.
Yeah. Sorry, but you need to go to class.
Oh. Okay, I didn't realize they were sitting down.
It's a little difficult to tell without like a new image.
I thought she was gonna float away.
I am transcended.
Bye, everybody. I'm going now.
I disagree, but maybe if I nap in class, I'll get it this time.
I'm back to my home world.
Changing location is sometimes helpful for that kind of thing.
Neither Emmy or I bother asking what it is. As we arrive in the classroom, Emmy gives me a quick kiss and heads down the hallway, Rin in tow.
No.
Look at who showed up, Joe.
I mentioned them and they appear.
Yeah. Don't ever mention them again. I turn to enter the classroom to be met by the duo of Shizune and Misha. We haven't talked to them in a while, though, right?
Yeah, no, it's been several episodes.
I think Misha might have showed up real quickly or something. Misha seems to be fighting a losing battle to keep from breaking into a fit of giggles while she translates Shizune's latest rant.
Well, we are pleased and thrilled to see how you've managed to make new friends and forge relationships with such a cutie, too, Hichan.
I think the last part was probably Misha.
We nevertheless feel compelled to politely remind you that public displays of affection are strictly forbidden. Really? That's disappointing, Shichan, by Section 8 of the Code of Conduct laid out in the Student Handbook. In this case, however, ignorance of the law may be your excuse, as we are feeling lenient. And the paperwork required to punish the both of you would only add to the already mountainous volume of work which confronts us, the sole members of the Student Council, and besides, you two are adorable together. Therefore, consider this a formal warning, and please refrain from such displays in the future, at least when Shizune can see you, Hichan.
The whole spiel is so patently ridiculous that I can't help but reply in the same pompous manner. Well, I, for one, feel enlightened, rather. I don't know what's wrong with me. I apologize profusely for my rash actions and will strive to contain my baser impulses, which I fear impel me towards such inappropriate displays of public affection. It is hardly my wish to burden an already overworked student council with such petty matters, and will do my best to make your lives easier in this manner in the future. At least when Shizuni's watching. This last line is delivered with a wink to Misha, who finally loses control of her laughter.
Wahaha! Well said, Hichan.
She just has like a cute smile, though.
It's an anime character. Pretty much all of them are at least a little bit cute, unless they make them obviously ugly.
I read something or heard something that this has nothing to do with this in particular, but anime, the main girl character usually has bigger eyes.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't really paid that much attention to it, but I forget what the reasoning for it was, but there's something that draws you to the character if they have bigger eyes.
The fact that they have bigger eyes.
Yeah, it's cuter, maybe.
I don't know.
Really sure. I'll have to look it up again.
I know a large part of the animation is spent for anime on the eyes. So if they're made bigger, it might mean there's also more detail in them and more money spent on them. So It might also just look better.
Something to keep an eye on, anyways, when you're watching anime.
Yeah, look for the biggest eyes.
Mm-hmm. Chuckling a little myself, we enter the classroom. The class is uneventful, and after the final bell rings, I find myself alone with Mutao again.
So it looks like we've all assembled for the second meeting of the Science Club. Or is it the first? What do you think? Should we count yesterday as a meeting?
Oh, we did form the club yesterday, didn't we? That seems like club business, so we can safely call ourselves a meeting. We called yesterday a meeting. Mutao smiles in his usual stilted and awkward way. I wonder if the muscles in his face are not shaped correctly to let him smile naturally.
Would mean that he just hasn't smiled for the majority of his life, which I don't want to think about.
Well, if he's Batman, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
Batman has nothing to smile about.
Yeah.
When Batman smiles, you're worried.
There was an animation. I've seen the clip of it. It was it was from one of the Justice League cartoons. It was Batman and Superman playing good cop and bad cop, but Batman was playing good cop and Superman was playing bad cop. And so Batman offered the criminal a donut, and he was just like, "Oh, what the hell is that? Get it away from me!" He was like, "It's chocolate."
I think it was called The Killing Joke. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Sounds familiar.
Batman comic, and they made a animation thing out of it. At the very end of it, Batman actually laughs at the Joker, or what the Joker says, or whatever. And then you hear, and then the camera pans off of them, and you hear a snap.
Oof.
That was what happens when Batman laughs.
He breaks something. You really do have a knack for this, I think. Logical thought process, that is.
I guess so.
A scientist speaks with authority, Hisao. The answer here is yes, I do. When the world wants to know how it works, we tell it, even if all we've got is a decent hypothesis. But we must sound certain, anyway, because we're the authorities on the subject, right?
chuckles to go along with his awkward smile at his awkward joke. I'm doing my best not to grimace, but I don't think I'm being too successful.
That's entirely false, of course. We know a lot, sure, but nobody's an expert on how the world works. If only because nobody can be sure. With no certainty, there are no experts. But we like to pretend sometimes.
There's some things we can be certain of, right?
Yes, but no. We know gravity's there, for example.
Illustrate, Mutao picks up a pencil and drops it. Well,
See?
I don't think you need an example of gravity.
It's Isaac Newton with the apple all over again. Wait, was that Isaac Newton?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good. See? Still there. But it's good to check every once in a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why you'll still see researchers mucking about with gravity. We're pretty sure we know how it works, but there's always a chance that something isn't how we think it is. So you check, and check, and check. That's science in a nutshell, Hazal.
The whole time I've listened to feeling rather spellbound, Mutao seems to be really passionate about this stuff. I think it's hard to tell sometimes how the world works, how humans work, how the universe works. All these questions to be answered. And depending on what I go into, maybe I could even figure out a way to fix my heart. That said, I don't think that's the real priority for me.
That'd be
Besides-
medical science.
Yeah, true. Besides, as we start discussing the book he gave me yesterday, I find myself more and more interested in that than my heart condition. Before we even realize it, an hour's gone by. I think I'm gonna stop there. You know what would be interesting?
Yeah, what?
I bet people probably do this, but like have a book club on YouTube. Where you read a book and you come back and you just have discussions about the book.
Almost like a podcast.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Maybe not interesting to watch, but something interesting to listen to at least.
It'd be good on road trips.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.